Welcome, this is Christine, and today I'm going to talk about how to draw a leaf. And I'm going to break it down into 6 easy steps. And I have a handout that goes with this that I will attach to this video. Alrighty, so we're going to draw this nice oak leaf, and just going to go through the steps. Now you can start with a mechanical pencil, a very light pencil like I use, or you can start with a blue pencil, which is even lighter, and sometimes I'll use that, but it doesn't show up very well on the video. So I'm going to just use the pencil. Okay? So the first step I would do would be to draw the stem and continuing on to the midrib, and seeing just about how long it is, like this, and then I do that. And I'm just drawing very lightly, but to make it easier for you to see on the video, I'm going to draw it more dark than I normally would. Just so you know though, that I usually am lighter than this. I usually sketch just about as pale as I can possibly see when I'm starting with these first steps. Okay. And then I'm going to make an oval that represents the outside of this leaf. Just the basic largest proportions that this leaf would be, how wide it is, pretty much like that. And so that's going to be kind of like an oval like this. Okay. And I normally draw very light like this, but I'll draw it a little bit darker again so that you can see. And if I want to double check my proportions, there, that's good. Okay? Then I would draw the main veins, especially if it is a leaf such as this that has lobes in it, because the veins, the main veins end at the tips of each of these lobes, and so it will be easier for me to place those lobes if I draw the veins in first. So I have, I'm looking at this vein here, approximately like that, then this vein, then this vein, and this vein, and then the veins on the left, and they do not come out opposite of these veins. They come out actually slightly below the veins I just drew. So that would be this, and about this, and about like this, and there we have it. Okay, now I have the veins in. I will show approximately the shape of each of these lobes, and then we'll go into detail with those lobes in the next step. So sometimes I'll actually use my finger to help me keep track of where I am in a kind of complicated subject like this. So I'll point my finger at the area I'm drawing, and I'll kind of go like this. So we've got this lobe approximately, then this lobe, then this lobe, this lobe, this lobe, this lobe, this lobe, this lobe, and this lobe. Okay, so that's just placing them approximately. All right. Next, I will look at each of those lobes a little bit more detail and try to get a little bit more accurate. Now that I have a foundation, sort of like a house has a foundation upon which to build. This is my light foundation that I'll start with. And actually at this point, I might erase some of these lines because they're getting a little bit messy. So some of these sketch lines, get rid of. There we go. Okay. So now I will go around the leaf again in a clockwise motion and just get a little bit more accurate about where I see those lobes. And as I'm doing this, I will look at what we call the negative shapes. those are the shapes that are where the leaf is not. So for example, this shape, these are the shapes where the leaf isn't. And looking at those shapes can also help me to draw more accurately. And so just again carefully looking to see. Now, a leaf isn't really like a person, so it's got a little bit more leeway in what it can look like. Leaves are quite variable, have a lot of different personalities in their lobing, so it's not as important to get it exactly right. It'll still be anatomically correct. So there we have that basically. And then lastly, I will erase all of my lines that I don't want, and I'll firm up the lines I do like. And at this point, then after I firm up these lines, I would decide whether I'm going to continue on finishing up this leaf in pencil, or if I might go on to add, finish this up in watercolor or colored pencils. So this is really just the start of getting this. All right. So basically that's a quick tutorial on how to draw a leaf in 6 steps. Again, drawing the stem and midrib first, drawing an oval that represents the outermost shape of the leaf, then drawing veins that represent an end at the tips of each lobe, then doing the lobes in a very symbolic way to just place them like a foundation, and then lastly to become a little bit more accurate with those lobes, going a little bit more slowly and looking at the negative shapes between the lobes to get the right shape. And then I'll erase my sketch lines. I'll firm up the edges, and I'll add any details like these little spines are very subtle. Okay, that's the 6 steps, and then if you want to go on to working, finishing this up in colored pencil or pen or watercolor, it's ready to go. Thanks for joining me.